Hi everyone, welcome to your lesson on reactions. Now I've chosen to focus today on reactions with acids. I was going to try and do reactions with acids and displacement reactions and halogen reactions, and I thought, that's way too much to put in one lesson. It's going to confuse the heck out of you, so let's just focus on reactions with acids today and then leave the other types of reactions for another lesson. We've got the time, so let's use it. So, first thing I've talked about is naming salts. In all of the general equations which I've written here, you'll notice that I've written salt and hydrogen. Now you can't write in an exam salt generally, you have to name it. So the way we name it is we take the name of the metal, so for example iron or copper or aluminium, and we look at which acid it's reacting with. And we take the end of the salt, the name, to be the type of acid. So hydrochloric acid creates chloride salts. Nitric acid makes nitrate salts. And sulfuric acid makes sulfate salts. So here I've given 3 examples of some salts. Iron chloride, which will be made of iron and hydrochloric acid when they react together. Copper sulfate, which is completely made from copper reacting with sulfuric acid. And aluminium nitrate, which is made from aluminium clearly reacting with nitric acid. Now, I've then written the 4 general equations. Metal plus acid creates a salt, and remember you can't just write salt, you've got to actually name it. Likewise, the metal and then the acid will generally be named, plus hydrogen. Metal oxide, which is just metal and oxygen joined together, plus acid, creates salt, a salt, and water. Metal hydroxide does exactly the same, creates a salt and water. And the last one is metal carbonates and acid create salt, water, and carbon dioxide, because you've got that carbon coming from the carbonate. So I thought the easiest thing to do was to then talk through some examples. I would suggest you learn those general reactions if you haven't done so already. So maybe spend a minute or so just writing them down again and again to make sure you're happy with them. And then let's go through this. Now this table actually comes from a worksheet that I have set on Google Classroom. So when you get to the table on the worksheet, feel free to ignore it. Or you can fill it in because you'll know the answers. So, sodium carbonate. All you need to do here is name the salt. But let's go further than that. Let's not just name the salt, let's do the whole equation. So here's a table. You've got the 3 types of acid at the top, and they're going to be reacting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. So we are going to fill out in the boxes what is produced each time. So sodium carbonate and nitric acid would make sodium nitrate. That's our salt. I know because I've taken sodium, which is our metal, and the nitrate from the nitric acid, plus water. I'm too lazy to write water, I'm just writing H2O, and it's a carbonate, so it would also make CO2. Let's go along and do all the different types of acid. So it would be on this one, sodium chloride, which is also known as table salt, also with water, also with CO2, and the last one, sodium sulfate plus water plus CO2. Okay, now let's do magnesium. Magnesium is a metal, it's clearly not joined to anything, so it's going to be making a salt and hydrogen each time. So, magnesium nitrate plus hydrogen. That's meant to be hydrogen, but again, got to do it quickly. Next one, magnesium chloride. Oh, my voice is going. Plus hydrogen. And magnesium, apologies that I wasn't writing, sulfate plus hydrogen. Okay, potassium oxide, if you remember, will create salt and water, because you've got that oxide on there. Likewise, the copper hydroxide, which is coming up next, will also do the same. So, potassium nitrate, it's nitric acid, plus water, potassium chloride, plus water, potassium sulfate, plus water. Okay, copper hydroxide, like I said, will also do the same. It'll make a salt and water. So copper nitrate plus water, copper chloride plus water, and copper sulfate plus water. Okay, so ammonia, you can just treat it like a metal. Imagine it's just a metal on its own. So it'll make a salt and hydrogen. So ammonia nitrate plus hydrogen, ammonia chloride plus hydrogen, and ammonia sulfate plus hydrogen. Right, I'm hoping that's fairly straightforward. As I say, there is another worksheet for you to do. Have a little look in Google Classroom. Remember, unfortunately, I am getting tested at school this period, which means I won't be on my iPad. I'll be there sticking swabs up my nose instead. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, but I just won't be able to get back to you immediately. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.